Okay, for the third time. I'm terribly sorry about the technical issues, but that's how we are. I think I can ensure this doesn't happen next week. Um, but just to make it real quick, what I'm talking, when we do a script scoring template, um, the most important part is right up here to the super objective. The most important objective that we follow through the course of a play or a scene or a speech. When I was playing Macbeth, my super objective was to try and please my wife, try and make her proud of me. Um, and everything I did was to try and make her happy. And then, of course, Lady Macbeth dies at the end of Act Four. And so, in that speech about despair, I chose to make it about her and how my life is meaningless because I spent the whole play trying to do that. And then I came to the realization if my life is meaningless, to die in battle would be a glorious way to end it. So you can see how a super objective can help you organize your tactics and to think about how to work on it. And in your case, your super objective, I wanted to be to find your strength. You start out terrified, panicked seeing this body, but then you find your strength through the course of this speech. I've changed the color here to represent different emotional beats. Um, in this one, I think you're only half awake. You might even be dreaming of something that already happened. Yes, sir. Where Milford Haven? Where's the way? Um, you won't actually wake up until this moment. By contrast, in this next moment, when you say, I hope I dream, that's the first part where I want you to start to gain more ground and more and find more strength. I hope I dream. And in this moment, I want you to choose to look at the body. You can't bring yourself to look at the head first. So you're going to look at each individual part, look it up and down. And it's up to you whether you want to touch it or not. Of course, you're miming it. But then the anger comes in once you realize it must be Pisanio who killed him. And in this moment, when you say, oh, give color to my pale cheeks, I want you to play that as if you are war painting yourself, which is appropriate because this is a pre Christian Celtic period in England's history. But it's up to you whether you actually go through with that, whether you want to mime putting blood on your face. You could just as easily say, no, I can't do that. That's my husband's blood. But but I want you to base your choices on how am I going to find my strength? And that's what the goal is here. Daniel, when we're coming to your speech, um, I think your goal is to get this anger out of your system. Like we talked about last time, half the time you're blaming yourself for your father's death, and the other half of the time you're blaming your mother. And that's why I've marked your speech up with different colors and different emotional beats. Um, when it's blue, I want you to play it like it's your fault. And when it's green, I want you to play it like it's um, her fault. And decide how are you going to let that pain out? What can you do physically to express it? And I've added some images, which I'll mention in the chat. But those are the tools I want you to explore and use your objective